dairy farmers be worried about fluid milk?
My feeling is that if you look at total dairy consumption, sort of in that last chart that I talked about, the story is basically one of positive growth, and that I'm quite content is going to continue. The mix of products is going to change, but it seems that both on a per capita basis as well as on a population growth basis, dairy is going to continue to grow. It seems to be, you look at any of the charts and any of the numbers, and there's a huge robustness about that. Obviously, the major categories, including fluid, which has historically been very large, is very concerning when we see the kind of declines that we've had for decades now. There are some bright spots, but at some point, again, looking at the overall history of dairy product consumption, there are certain things that probably are going to be relatively inexorable, both in the growth side and on the declining side. But the thing to keep your eye on is what is the total growth in the use of what dairy farmers produce, and that is all of the milk components that are now being pretty much fully utilized. So who knows what the future is going to be, but in terms of the perception that I know a lot of the media has that dairy is in decline because fluid milk is in decline is totally wrong.
So, Peter, you mentioned, that U.S. per capita consumption of dairy is on the rise. Do you see this peaking anytime soon, or do you see it continuing to rise? What do you see in the future for that?
Well, theoretically, we'd have to expect there is some maximum out there, but we don't seem to have approached it in any sense. So I'm not ready to predict where that point of satiety is going to be for consumers.